Hello and welcome here from the JA Worldwide headquarters. I am thrilled. Today is the day. Today is the day of the De La Vega Global Entrepreneurship Finals. We have 6 finalists from each and every single corner around the world. And I know many of you are watching from literally also every corner of the world. So if you're watching us on YouTube Live, drop in the comments below the flags. Which team are you cheering on? Are you cheering for all of them? Because I truly are cheering for all of them. My name is Sarah. I'm the host of today. I'm also a J alumna, which makes this a very special occasion for me to really award the best student companies of 2026. As I mentioned, we're going on a world trip, so I'm going to take you on a journey. But before we do that, please watch the incredible video of the De La Vega Global Entrepreneurship Award.
Is everybody ready? Okay, here we go.
Wow. As you've seen, all of our 6 finalists, they went through a big journey themselves. All of them started in their high schools. They had a thought, they had an idea, and probably they had 17,000 ideas which didn't work out. But then they managed to actually form a company to create a structure around it and sell their products or services. All of them won in their respective countries. And not only that, but they also won on a regional level. So we have the best of the best student teams for 2026 here with us today. And we at JA Worldwide, we believe that young people should have the skill set and mindset to build thriving communities. A big thank you to our partner in this, Ralph De La Vega. You just saw him in the video. He's the one who's making all of this possible. He also believes in the boundless potential of young people like we do. And we couldn't be more grateful to have this global competition. So I'm sure everyone is very excited to meet the teams. So we get right into, and the first stop we're doing, I'm not sure if you knew that we're all going on a trip together today around the world. The first stop is Team JA Americas, Saki JA in Ecuador. Hey. Hello, everyone. Okay, before I'm going to ask you a question, please cue the video so you can learn more about the company Saki JA.
Every student uses at least 7 plastic bottles every single week.
And in 1 year, a single school can generate more than 600,000 plastic bottles waste. Now, imagine what happens in our country with 18 million inhabitants, which just last year surpassed the barrier of 2 billion pieces of waste in plastic bottles.
Thinking about that problem, we found a way to change it. We are a student from Quito, Ecuador, who saw a problem and decided to create a solution.
We conducted 261 surveys and a focus group with 13 children. They gave us the answer. We weren't going to create something that we wanted, but something that they needed.
The answer was Saki.
Sustainable lunchboxes, made out from certified rPET fabric. Each one recycles 7 plastic bottles.
They contain thermal insulation, a removable waterproof lining, a detachable thermos holder, adjustable straps, and a backpack hook for easy portability, all packaged in umbrella bags.
But we knew we want more than just a lunchbox. We want to create a real connection between children and adults. Ecuador is home to extraordinary endangered species that many people still do not know about.
Every character has a story that connects conservation with health. Children don't just carry their lunch, they carry a friend who reminds them to take care of themselves and their planet.
In order to achieve it, we wanted to create a real impact.
2 hours away from Quito is Cotacachi, a town known for its long tradition of leather and textile craftsmanship. There, we met 10 incredible women, artisans with years of experience, but few opportunities for steady work.
They will be the ones to bring our Sakis to life. Here we learn that business isn't just about numbers, it's about persons, dignity, and opportunities. Every stitch represents fair labor, every lunchbox an opportunity for growth for these families.
Wow. I mean, if this is not the embodiment of creating an impact and creating thriving communities, I don't know what is. Hola to Ecuador!
Hola! Hi!
Okay, we want to know one thing from you. I prepared a question for every single team to challenge them a bit. I mean, we saw the incredible video. You won so many awards and you won the J America's Company of the Year competition. But what I'm specifically curious about is, so you created, of course, a company at a very young age and you managed 12 people in your company, but all of them were your peers. So what was the hardest thing to actually lead the team to the success you have?
Well, I think that I talk for everyone that we believe that many adults think that because we are young, we lack of experience. But the truth is that the only thing that we have is initiative, creativity, and most importantly, hope. I believe strongly that in Psyche JA, we show that age is really not an issue to define scope or impact. But we are building a project with purpose and with environmental awareness, most of all. And when passion meets sustainability, impact turns into measurable results. Because Psyche JA, like your essence.
Amazing. Thank you, Saki J. I would love to keep this going, but everyone is very curious about the other 6 finalists. Well done. Congratulations from our side. Everyone in the comments, send some love to Saki J. We'll see you later. Thank you, guys. Okay, now, please grab your luggage. We're going to travel to the next region. We're going to the Middle East. And more specifically, we're going to Palestine to Team Ecuador.
Hi, Sarah.
Let's cue the video to learn more about your company.
For over 2 decades, the separation wall has isolated nearly 13% of the West Bank, separating families from their land and slowly consuming Palestinian farmland.
For generations, we depended on soil, but today, the land is under pressure. Water scarcity is no longer a future risk, it's our daily reality. Traditional farming struggles to meet growing food needs, using more land, more water, and more resources. Industrial waste, like damaged rock wool, doesn't disappear. It pollutes the environment and stays for years. So, we designed a solution that uses less water, less energy, and even works in challenging conditions.
Large amounts of industrial rock wool are discarded and left to harm the environment. This material is difficult to decompose, and when it's treated as waste, it becomes an environmental burden. What if waste could become a part of the solution? What if we could reduce environmental damage and support food security at the same time? EcoRock transforms damaged rock wool into a safe growing medium for hydroponic farming. Our product reduces the need for soils, saves up 90% of water, and works efficiently even in limited spaces.
As a hydroponic growing medium, it efficiently retains water and nutrients, supports healthy root development, and can be reused multiple times, enhancing system performance while making hydroponic farming more sustainable and cost-effective. We convert a non-biodegradable industrial waste into a sustainable agriculture solution.
Building EcoRock was not easy. Frequent power cuts, limited resources, and difficult movement between locations challenged our progress. But instead of stopping, we adapted.
From industrial waste to fresh food, this is Eco-Rock.
Well done. Welcome Team Injaz. Welcome Team J Injaz Palestine. I mean, everyone who's watching, I feel like we know why you won the competition in the Middle East. Super well done. And especially seeing how you took a very complex topic and made it so easy explained in the video. I'm personally very impressed, and I know many, many more people are too. But your question for today is, it actually touches on what the other team was already saying, that you are young adults being in business, right? So what is one thing you wish that adults, quote, the real adults, especially in the business world, understood about young entrepreneurs like you?
Okay. First of all, I want to say that we are not just learners, we are problem solvers. I mean, being young means a lot, like thinking creatively, moving quickly, and understanding today's challenges from the inside. But we have to say something that creative ideas are already turning into real solutions in complex environments. And with the trust, mentorship, space to lead, that potential becomes real innovation. And finally, I want to say that we do not just represent the future, we already building the future.
Oof. I feel like the world is in such good hands. Everyone should watch you guys thrive. All of the 6 teams are such an embodiment of future change, and I think exactly the light we need out there right now in the world. So, Ecuador, thank you. Good luck. We will see you later. And everyone else, we're going to travel to the next destination. So, next destination is the United States. We have Team Junior Achievement USA in a quest. Hello, everyone. Hi. Okay, also, we're going to watch your video first, and then I'm going to ask you a question.
Replacing humans in aspects of creativity and critical thinking will leave our future generations lacking something incredibly important: their imagination. According to psychologists from the Harvard Medical School, with this rise in AI and technology usage, our cognitive development is being eroded. And researchers at MIT have strengthened this argument by verifying that cognitive function and critical thinking are both significantly hindered by chatbots and AI.
That's why we created InnovaQuest, with the mission to nurture creativity and critical thinking skills in children using engaging and interactive games.
Our product, The Cards of Creativity, is an original game designed to spark imagination and foster both cognitive and emotional creativity. Our game has 3 decks: storytelling, engineering, and arts. The storytelling deck helps kids build both their interpersonal and intrapersonal skills. The engineering deck focuses on hands-on problem solving and logical thinking, and the arts deck encourages creative expression and emotional understanding. Our game generates over 5,000 possible card combinations to unlock imagination in every player.
We began our product development story by researching ways to build cognitive and emotional creativity while having fun. This led us to develop a prototype of our card game focused on topics that foster creativity.
Using our prototype in focus groups with children, we saw creativity and fun in action.
I really like it because it's a fun and a nice game to play with your friends.
Studying the creativity crisis and playing the games ourselves reminded us of what we'd slowly forgotten: the pure joy of discovering, creating, and learning. And that's something we hope the Cards of Creativity can restore in every single child who plays.
Welcome again, Team InnovaQuest, and more specifically, this is Team USA from JA Southern Eastern Pennsylvania. And I want to do a shout out because, as you can see, the team is scattered around the world. So we have also one person virtually in the virtual live stream. Hello, Team InnovaQuest. Okay, so I love your product as I do all the other products, and I especially love that you want to spark the joy again, the joy of creating, the joy of productivity, and the joy of creation. And so you identified this problem, which is out there, and you were selling out 240 units in under a month. Congratulations on that. I'm very curious, and so is the JA community. What is one skill you've learned which you had no idea that you will learn while building this company?
Sure. Just to be clear, are you able to hear me?
We guys can hear you. Can you hear me?
You can hear me, perfect. Yes, okay, okay. One skill we didn't know that we had was persuasive communication. At first, when we were still developing our product, we thought in-person selling would be the hardest part. And while it was difficult, we assumed people really cared about our product, our creativity, as much as we did. But once we started pitching it to other people, we realized that we could clearly explain the problem, connect it to people's current experiences, and make them see the value of our product. Everyone was able to resonate with this issue of an over-reliance on artificial intelligence. And that confidence and that connection is what helped us with each individual sale, the 100-unit bulk sale, and sell out these 240 units in under a month. Each encounter taught us that entrepreneurship is more than just having a great product, but it requires being able to communicate real belief and human connection in that idea, and that's something that we didn't want to do.
Oh, I love this. I hope everyone who's watching and rewatching the live stream has a notebook with all the incredible learnings and the amazing quotes for you being youth advocates out there, and also even serving younger people and younger students than you are. Thank you so much. We're excited to see you in the end for the big reveal of who's going to be the winner. Congratulations again from our end. Thank you, Team JA USA. Okay, now we have an amazing part of the program. We're not only featuring, of course, our young entrepreneurs who just made it into the finals of the De La Vega Global Entrepreneurship Award, but as you might know, or maybe you don't know, if you're just watching the stream and you've never heard of JA around the world, we have an alumni community of millions of students who went through all our junior achievement and JA programs in every corner around the world. And we're not only proud of these alumni, but some of them, and many of them, are building really big businesses and having incredible impact out there around the world. So for right now, we actually have a fireside chat with Ashish Advani, who's the president and CEO of JA Worldwide, who is a JA alumnus himself. And he's going to introduce our star guest alumni. Ashish, over to you.
Thank you, Sarah. First of all, Sarah, you're doing a great job. You've brought together people from all over the world, and I know how difficult it is to ask one question and try to get a great sort of responsive way to describe what these great young entrepreneurs have done. So thank you, Sarah, for doing such a great job. My role today is to introduce you to another JA alumnus who's gone on to do incredible things. He has been inducted into the Global Business Hall of Fame, and he has built a company and is now one of the Forbes 30 under 30 in Europe. So let me introduce you to Cornel Amare. Hey, Cornel, there you are.
Greetings. Hopefully you can hear me. Greetings from Romania, Eastern Europe.
Wonderful. Well, I'm so glad you're joining us. You are one of the illustrious role models that we like to introduce to young people around the world, because you've really leaned into doing so much with your JA experience and other experiences that you had in high school. So maybe I'll start with a question. You've been running Lumen. We're going to hear all about Lumen in a second, but maybe start with your early career. When you were in school, you founded a robotics club as a teenager, and then you went on and you became an inventor and a CEO. So can you take us back to maybe one pivotal moment early in your either schooling or career that has led to your success, or you reflect on as being very meaningful?
Oh, definitely, and thank you for the kind words. I mean, as I always say, I'm an entrepreneur because of JA. I would have never been an entrepreneur if JA wouldn't have the company program, and that's how I got into entrepreneurship. Important moment in my life, there are a few of them. I think one of them started in day zero. I was born in a family of people with disabilities. So everybody in my family but me has disabilities, which mean that, you know, my beginning of life was probably very different than a lot of beginnings of life. I come from very limited means. I know what hunger is. I know what not having a house is. I know how important it is to provide support for the people around you. And those are some of the things which I learned growing up in the family which I grew up. I also learned a lot about not necessarily motivation, but about work ethics and how important it is to keep on working, keep on fighting, and keep on solving things. Because my family was always a problem which had to be solved, and still is, and that's what made me be so solution focused and seeing problems and finding ways of solving them. I had no choice growing up, and I think that would be by far the most pivotal moment of my life. The day I was born in the family I was born.
Well, Cornel, I love how you've reframed what a lot of people would consider an obstacle, and you've looked for the positive in it. In fact, many great entrepreneurs, I think, take their obstacles and turn them into strengths. So now we want to hear a little bit more about your business, Lumen. What does it do? What's your motivation? What brings you the passion to do what you do?
Sure. First of all, you have to be crazy to be an entrepreneur. You have to be a little crazy, but in a positive way. That woman specifically. 5 years ago, I returned back to my home country of Romania, and I started this company where we actually build glasses for the blind. So to explain a little bit about it, you have 300 million people in the world who are visually impaired, but if you check what solutions they use for their disability, they use the same two solutions for thousands of years. They use the guide dog, the dog which guides people, or they use the white cane. And unfortunately, specifically the guide dog or the service dog, as it's called in the States, it's a great solution, but it costs a tremendous amount of money. So it can go upwards of $200,000 for a single dog. And that's definitely not scalable. So there are way too few of them. So what we decided to do is we took self-driving technology, what makes a car drive itself, and we built a product which replicates what a guiding dog would do for a blind person, but in a bit of a different way. So if a guide dog works by pulling your hand, avoiding you from obstacles, keeping you on the sidewalk and taking you to your destination, what we build, and we call them the glasses, they work the same, but they actually pull your head. You actually feel haptics on your forehead, how they pull you, they avoid you from obstacles, they take you to your destination. But it is actually the world's first self-driving car for the pedestrian side. And we started this 5 years ago. A few months ago, we started pre-orders. We have over $10 million in pre-orders only in Romania, which is a small country. We're still going international. The motivation behind this is definitely the family I come from. I come from a family of people with disabilities, so I wanted to build products that help people. And that's how we started this company. And now our investors include the European Union, which has invested in this. So what started from a very simplistic idea of like, how hard can it be, transformed into building the most advanced assistive technology in the world. And now we're a team of over 60 people here working at this, with the first deep tech startup in my country, and representing the European Union as an innovation stronghold wherever we go in the world.
Wow, I mean, it's so inspirational. 60 people to be a job creator and to do it by leaning into deep tech at a time when there's so much change. I mean, I can see the confidence, I can see the passion in the way you answer. For many other young people to hear from you, I think one reason you're a member, inducted into the Global Business Hall of Fame, is you really are a role model for others. So I guess this is where I want to ask you to lean into this role model side. We've inducted in the Global Business Hall of Fame leaders from many parts of the world, both as innovators and leaders. Those are our two categories. And our vision, Cornel, is by 2050, to have at least one person from every country in the world inducted into the Global Business Hall of Fame to truly make it global. As the first Romanian to be inducted, please tell us what it means for you and how you see this platform to share more with young people so they can see role models from all over the world.
One of the things whenever we get such an award, and I say we because in the end I'm just representing a team of people here. Whenever we get such an incredible award, I always feel a bit guilty. Like I always feel I don't really deserve it. But it makes me push extra hard until the moment I can say, yes, now I think I've deserved it. So that's how I look upon awards. One hand, they make you feel like an imposter and everything, and they push you a bit stronger. On the other hand, they open a lot of doors. And in business, it's a lot about networking. It's a lot about human contact and everything, and human connection. And such awards help with that. They open doors. They allow you to speak to certain people, which really, really help you in your business life. So that's my view of it. I never felt I deserved it. Maybe now I'm feeling it a bit, but hopefully not too much. But it helped. It helped a lot to push me work harder, to push my team to work harder, and to open a lot of doors. Which in the end, business is a lot about networking.
Well, you do deserve it. And we all have the feeling of imposter syndrome when people say nice things about us. It's not uncommon. I will say that there are young people who are listening here. You saw the people from I think you saw from Palestine already, in Ecuador and the US. And of course, what you're going to hear is young people from Nigeria and Denmark and Hong Kong and China. So I think as you speak to the other young people listening, and of course, everyone listening on YouTube and social media, maybe you can provide them some advice now that they're finalists and they have to also get past imposter syndrome, winning their regional competition. How do they get past that? How do they start to look at the world the way you do?
You know, I had incredible luck basically to meet a lot of entrepreneurs. So I met hundreds, even thousands of them, I think. And I always ask myself, like, what separates successful ones from not successful ones? Like, is there one thing which separates them? And I always, look at this and research it, and because I know people from all walks of life, all kinds of entrepreneurs, all kinds of directions, verticals, etc. And I only found one thing which kind of connects all of us. We simply don't know how to give up. There's a tremendous amount of resilience, and I understood that in this, in this game, it's not the survival of the smartest, it's not the survival of the funniest, it's survival of the one who plays the most, the one who has the biggest resilience. Because as an entrepreneur, 99% of my time is spent on receiving bad news. So my job is getting 99% of my time bad news. And it destroys you. It kills you bit by bit. But we just don't know how to give up. And I really fight for that 1% of good news, but 99% is not. And I always remember, and every week I want to quit. Every week I want to quit. I said it public, I will say it again. If a week passes and I don't want to quit, it means I'm not playing at the level which I want to play. It must be so hard. And I always, when it gets very, very hard, I always remember that in the end, the one who plays this game the longest is the one who wins. So that's basically what I would recommend to everybody. It's a game of resilience. When it gets tough, probably you're doing something right. Stay in the game. That's what, it's not what drives me, but it's what I remember all the time. What drives me personally is hearing the people who use our products. That's what drives me. Seeing how we can impact some lives. That's what drives me most than anybody. And even when we have a new feature and we test it with 100 people and 98 say no, but then there's that one person who says, this will really impact my life in a positive way. And I'm like, yes, it was worth it.
Well, Cornel, that's such an appropriate message, being able to be resilient despite hearing bad news. There's only going to be one winning team today. And I'm so glad I'm not a judge, because it would be so difficult to pick from these 6 teams. So it's a good reminder that to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to be able to take that bad news and turn it into positivity and be resilient and wait for those 1% of times where you can be truly happy and motivated to get through all the challenges. So thank you for being, once again, such a great role model. And big shout out to Ralph de la Vega again for being our patron and supporting this amazing award and allowing great role models like you to be showcased as well. So thank you, Cornel, for your time.
Thank you so much. All the best. Enjoy the game.
All right.
Good luck, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much, Ashish. We truly appreciate your leadership, and especially you being a JA alumnus, going through the journey. For me personally, this is always a great reminder that, I feel like you've also played the game outside of JA as being an entrepreneur, and now you're here, and we're all really want to make sure that these young people shine on a global stage, and it's not just the unicorn startups out there. Of course, there too, but also the young people. Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you.
Okay. Back to our world trip, everyone. And one thing, Cornel, thank you. You mentioned human connection, and you mentioned community. And I want to not only invite the finalists, but every single person who's watching to join our community. Because as you can see, amazing entrepreneurs like Cornel are in it. But honestly, in the JA community, especially in the alumni community, we have people from all walks of life. They all went through the program at your age. Some are pilots, some are doctors, some are entrepreneurs, some are something completely different. But whatever you need, you have someone in the community who can help you, who can support you. And it's really and truly a community of people who really want to build something bigger, who want to make the world better in whatever big or small form. So please, please, please join us. Actually, it's called gatheralumni.org, which is our alumni community. I would love to welcome every single one of you. Okay, now we're going to the other side of the world. We've just been in the USA. Now we're going to Asia Pacific, specifically to JA Hong Kong, SAR China. And as you can see, Nope, the team is actually not all of them are in Hong Kong, or China right now. But first of all, we're going to watch your video and then I'm going to ask you a question.
The world has many problems, to say the least. But when it came to solving them, for us and many other young people, our minds were completely and utterly blank. It was simply too overwhelming. That's until we took a class called Global Perspectives, where we learned about the UN Sustainable Development Goals, sending global goals the world wishes to achieve by 2030, such as zero hunger and fighting climate change. The SDGs made us realize that, no, global issues weren't just abstract concepts. They were realistic issues that, as young people, we had both the ability and responsibility to solve.
Just one problem. These classes were all lecture-based, and well, they're boring. So as kids, how do you expect us to learn when we're about to fall asleep? And data shows this as well. As studies show that nearly 1/3 of students think that most or all of their lectures are boring. These classes are what make us think that SDGs are more of obligations rather than opportunities. If schools can't inspire us students to care about these global issues, how do you expect the younger generation who will inherit this world to solve them? And with that, our mission was born, to promote SDG awareness and action in the only way possible, without you getting bored.
And after 3 months of brainstorming, we landed on Zester, an SDG card game where you act as diverse societal roles solving theoretical SDG problems. Now, how does it work, right? Let's say today I have to solve the problem of redesigning a school system to include everyone in different learning capabilities. Well, let's say today I've got a farmer role, and I might say,
I'll turn school into farms where students can run around and experience new things.
Ooh. So Zester sits between education and fun, where students can think creatively, critically, and crazily.
We are a social enterprise, and by giving people knowledge, passion, and ability, we achieve our ultimate mission, empowering SDG action through fun.
Now, just as Jay has empowered us, we hope that you'll join us in continuing our mission to empower the next generation to change the world.
One SDG,
one young person,
one game
at a time.
Congratulations, Team Zester. Welcome to the global stage, and I feel like you guys represent a global team at this current moment because you're in all different parts of the world. So congratulations on winning the J Asia Pacific Company of the Year competition. And for me personally, I felt it very acutely when you said that there also needs to be action, not just the education, but also take action. And so you've reached over 30,000 people with that game. Congratulations on that. So did you imagine that it would be this big of a number when you were sitting bored in the classroom thinking about, oh, these are the SDGs, what the heck are we going to do with them?
Yeah, I would say even now, I still really can't believe that, we reached such a high number. It's hard to comprehend. But honestly, I think a big part of the reason we were able to get there is just the simplicity of our idea, right? I mean, nowadays, everybody's trying to open their new AI, SaaS, B2B company. And our idea was just very simple. It was just, we find these SDG classes boring. We want to make it interesting. That's all there is, right? And that's something that everybody can understand and everybody can get behind, right? And not only that, I kind of also agree with what Cornell said earlier, right? About entrepreneurship is mainly about resilience, because I feel that, 30,000, that's a big number. That's a great number. But what it's kind of hiding are the other numbers, right? Like the number of hours of sleep deprivation, the number of days of stress, right? We went through all of that as a team. So ultimately, I just want to say thank you to, the whole Zester team. We've worked hard, and that number is kind of a testament to everything that we've done so far.
So the viewers can't see the backstage, but I could see nodding heads from all the other teams of like lack of sleep and that it's more of a long-term play. Zester, we're very proud of you. Thank you for showing the world that action is indeed as important, if not more important, than the education about the SDGs. We're going to see you in the end. Thank you so much, Team Zester. And we're going to travel to the next destination. So we have been to the Americas, we have been to the United States, we have been to Asia, and we have been to the Middle East. Now we're going to Africa. More specifically, we're traveling to Nigeria for Team J Africa. Welcome, team. And before I'm going to ask you the question, we're going to watch the video to learn more about your company. Okay.
In northern Nigeria, climate change began changing the stories we grew up hearing. The rains became unpredictable. Pests destroyed crops. For many families, farming was key to survival. As we watched all this happen around us, one question kept growing inside us. Could we turn concern into action, and that question became the beginning of something bigger.
That something bigger became Smart Journey. With guidance from our school mentors and Junior Achievement Nigeria, we organize ourselves not just as classmates, but as a team with purpose. We form departments, research, marketing, finance, production, and corporate social responsibility.
Climate change is no longer distant. In northern Nigeria, extreme heat stress and pest outbreak are destroying large areas of farm. Farmers lose over 40% of their crops due to poor soil and late detection. Agriculture supports over 60% of livelihood. So the real question became, how can farmers act earlier? Transformation didn't stop at technology. We trained over 60 elementary youths on smart farming. We educated local orphans on climate responsibilities. December 2025, we were named JA Africa Company of the Year. But the real prize was watching a farmer smile because our products survived.
AgroFly X is built around one shift, from reactive farming to preventive farming. The drone monitors farm conditions and transmits live data to its companion app. The app interprets crop stress levels and provides clear guidance for fast decisions. During pilot testing, farms reduce water wastage by up to 40% and unnecessary chemical spraying by up to 50%. Prevention changes outcomes, but outcomes must be accessible.
Together, we are Smart Journey, transforming agriculture one flight at a time.
Welcome to the global stage. Well done. Also, big shout out and kudos to all the team for the incredible videos, the storytelling, the filming, everything is so on point. We're very proud of you and that we have you guys representing the best student companies out there in the world. So, Team Smartgenics, what was also what Cornell said that he wants to give up at least once a week. We're very curious about what was a very hard moment for you where you really thought, okay, that's it. Let's not do it. We're going to give up.
Okay, thank you for that question. The hardest moment should be just 72 hours before our first major demonstration. So after months of gathering all our equipment and assembling the drone, we took the drone to the field. We hit the throttle, and what happened? Nothing. It didn't fly. The silence from the motors was devastating. At that moment, we looked at each other and thought, maybe this isn't for us. Maybe we are not the right people to do this. So we had two choices. Either we give up all our hard work and dump our demo in the trash, or find out why. So we went back to our workshop, not as Company of the Year finalists, but as engineers. We worked for 48 hours straight, finding the solution. We rewrote all our codes. We recalibrated the system. And when we finally watched the drone flew up, it was at that moment to realize that our team's resilience is our greatest strength. And not only our drone flew that day, but our commitment as a team also took off. Thank you.
I love that everyone's sharing resilience because as also Cornell said, you said, and all the other teams, it takes a lot to be an entrepreneur and especially to fix the things which you thought are going to work, but then suddenly they're not working. And I feel like also what the other team said about the sleep, I can see, Team J in Nigeria also did not have enough sleep pre-competition. So congratulations from our end. Thank you so much for showing up for the world the way you do. And we're very proud to have you as one of the finalists. And we see you in a short moment towards the end. Thank you. And now, last trip of today for all of us here on the live stream. We're packing our luggages and we're traveling to Europe, more specifically to JA Denmark, to Team Verify ID. And we're going to have them here. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, Sarah.
Hello, Sarah.
Okay, and as with all the other teams, we're going to watch your video and then I'm going to ask you a question.
Sounds good.
When we started Verified, we didn't begin with the technology. We began with the question, how is it possible that in the 2020s, verifying someone's age still depends on human guessing work at the checkout counter? And in a modernizing digital world, how do we verify the age online other than a simple checkbox? That gap is what we decided to solve.
Because age verification is not just a product challenge. It's a regulatory challenge, it's a policy challenge, and it's a societal challenge as well.
So instead of waiting for legislation to catch up, we engaged directly with policymakers, we met with legislators, and we gave them insights into how digital identity infrastructure actually works. We explained what businesses need in order to comply realistically, and we were the first company to implement digital age verification at scale in Denmark.
We started with the digital age verification system, connected directly to the national EID. When a client that has an alcoholic beverage or tobacco in their cart proceeds to checkout, a pop-up will appear prompting them to identify their age to continue. Then they select the ID type they want to identify themselves with, and with a swipe, Verified checks their national ID and gets the age. If the client is over the legal age, they can pay, and if not, they will be declined. All of their information is hosted securely within their region in coherence with local regulatory compliance.
This year alone, Verified has prevented over 4,000 underage purchase attempts, and we've handled over 30,000 transactions this year alone.
After Denmark, we expanded across Scandinavia, because the challenge is not local, it's global, and every market faces the same friction between compliance and user experience.
We're now expanding into Germany and Belgium, and every market we enter, we follow the same principle. We align innovation with legislation. With over 400 active clients in all types of industries, from supermarkets to airports, web shops, and tobacco shops, we improve the verification every day. For us, this is just the beginning.
Welcome, Team Denmark.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah.
So as we all can see, the topics our J entrepreneurs are tackling are very broad, but all of them are very, very, very important. Congratulations on the huge success you guys have. And I know it's now a real business. Here I can already say it. So you're continuing. And so we are very curious because now you're a real businessmen. And when you started, you were just students, right? So if now someone who's 16-year-old came to you and would ask about the business idea they have, what kind of would be the first thing you're telling them?
Just to jump out on it and try to build something, because it's an experience for itself. And if you fail, you fail. But if you succeed, then you succeed. I mean, we didn't have the slightest idea that we would be here when we started it. And now we have lots of clients and doing this full time. So you really don't know what you're getting yourself into. And it's just a really fun experience or a learning experience. So either way, it's just get started.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Amazing. I love this. And again, I hope everyone has their notebook out here because all the advice you should write down. And especially if you're a young entrepreneur or you want to become an entrepreneur, right? These are incredible tips. And I'm very sure I can speak on behalf of all the teams that they happily give you advice if you reach out to them. And again, we have our global alumni community where it's exactly the place to have this exchange and maybe even find your business partner in another country around the world. So thank you, Team Denmark. We're going to put you down on stage, down backstage, because now we have the big moment. The big moment is finally here. I think we need some drum roll. So I'm going to bring up the most important person today up on stage. So it's Ralph de la Vega. So Ralph, from the bottom of our heart, at JA Worldwide, from all the students around the world, thank you for making this possible. Thank you for believing in the power of young people. Thank you for believing in these young entrepreneurs. And I'll give you the floor to give your remarks, and then we're going to reveal the winner.
Thank you, Sarah, and welcome to our extraordinary young entrepreneurs joining us from the United States, the Americas, Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. What a wonderful set of young entrepreneurs. I'm super proud of the job that you guys have done. But today we celebrate more than competition. We celebrate courage, we celebrate creativity, and we celebrate the willingness to step forward when others hesitate. Each of you saw a problem and chose not to walk past it. You chose to build, you chose to lead, you chose to take the risk of turning an idea into action. That mindset, the willingness to create value where none existed before, is the essence of entrepreneurship. The world you're entering is changing faster than any generation before you. Technology is accelerating, markets are shifting, all rules are being rewritten, but one thing has not changed, that progress belongs to those who act. You're not just learning about business, you're learning about resilience, teamwork, accountability, and integrity. You're learning how to listen to customers, how to recover from setbacks, and how to lead with purpose. These are not just student skills. These are leadership skills that would last a lifetime. Cornell gave a great testament to resilience and the skill that he learned that has lasted him a lifetime. Tonight, we honor the regional winners who represent the very best of JA around the world, and we will recognize the company of the year. But understand this: simply being here, you are among a remarkable community of builders and change makers. After viewing all of your videos, I am reminded of a powerful idea that young people are the living messages we send to the future. Looking at you today, that message is clear and unmistakable. Young people like you give us hope. Hope that we're developing leaders who will carry forward opportunity, create prosperity, and build a more peaceful world. You're not just preparing for the future, you are shaping it. Thank you for the inspiration you give all of us, and congratulations on what you have already achieved and all that is yet to come. So now we come to the moment where I open the golden envelope. And I'm very proud to say that the 2026 De La Vega Global Entrepreneurship Award goes to Saki J.A. from J.A. Ecuador, J.A. the Americas. Congratulations, guys. Woohoo!
Congratulations, Saki J. We can't hear you. Come closer, come closer. Do you still have your microphones, or did it all fly?
Oh,
Can you use the microphone? We want to hear you guys.
do you hear us?
Yes.
Oh my God. I didn't have a speech prepared for this moment, so. Well, I don't think that we have other feeling than gratitude for all of you, for all of what Saki J and Junior Achievement is, especially for the man who makes this possible, Ralph. I really, really, really admire you of what you've done. I heard about your story. That the fact that you leave your home at 10-year-old, that's the thing that I really, really don't know how a human can be capable of, because you're a very, very great human being, and I felt inspired when I heard it. So I think that I talk for all of us that what Junior Achievement is just an inspiration, a really pat of hope that we have for all of us, not just for the team, but for the world. And the fact that we are achieving our goals right now, it's just a dream coming out to life. So that's it. I think that I'm talking for all of us, that we are very, very thankful for Sarah, for Ralph, for all that what this program is, because this is not just a school project. We're really, really impressed of what this lunchbox came across to us, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much
for everything.
Congratulations, Team Saki J.
Arriba Ecuador.
Amazing. Thank you, team. Okay, Rolf, as the last words of this live stream for this year, we would love for you to announce, again, we saw it very slightly in the beginning in the video, but what is the winning team winning? And maybe there's also a surprise for all the other teams. So I'll hand it over to you.
They're getting cash. You can tell them exactly how much, but I think hopefully they may help them to actually make their company into a real company that can continue to provide the great services that they have. But to everyone on the call, I am so impressed. Maria and I could not be happier to see you on the screen, because the reason we had this award was not for us, it was for you. So the world can recognize each of you. Even though it was one winner today, you are 6 winners. Believe me, I was so impressed, and it was so hard, I know, for the judges. But we are really full of hope when we see you. And so continue to do good. Don't let obstacles get in your way, and be resilient when you face problems.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Sarah.
Bye.